stop and take a moment to imagine what would be your life if you could quit your 9-to-5 job and finally live the life that you have ever dreamed of. But now you wake up at your job with some nasty coworkers and a tyrannic boss that always tell you what to do.
Oh, hell no.
But the good news is that in this video, your life will change forever and you will learn how to finally live your dream life. So I will share with you what are my top 10 side hustles that you can start right now in 2022 to make a lot of money online but also in real life. But just before to continue, if you like personal finance and this kind of content, I highly invite you to come and join the Noel family by subscribing to the channel for only $0.0. The first side hustle doesn't require you to have some money, but it's just about selling your old stuff online. It seems quite easy, but at the same time, it is very, very effective.
Yeah, baby!
So what you could do is basically go open your closets, see everything that you don't use. For example, some old clothes that doesn't fit anymore, but that is still in good value. And what you can do after is go online and sell it. To do that, you could go potentially on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or even Etsy to be able to sell it. The only thing that you could have to worry after is the shipping of all the different clothes. If you're able to find, let's say, 10 shirts that you don't use anymore and that are too small, but with some great value, and that you sell them at $10 per shirt, that still give you some $100 of profit straight from it. However, if you don't have any kind of old clothes, what you could do is just go at the thrift shop and just buy some discount clothes there, and after you can resell them on eBay to make a profit with that. Another alternative that you could do instead of selling some items, you could just sell some services to other people. There are many different ways that you could help people and provide them some great services. For example, you could decide to just go and walk the pets of your neighbors. So that would be a great idea to make a lot of money while doing some sports and also staying in the same area that you live. This kind of side hustle would even help you to build some strong relation with your neighbors. In the same way, with some friends, you could decide to do a big car wash, which would help you to generate some profit and which would not necessarily need some huge capital from your part. And for those that could also, you could become like a babysitter, which would help a lot of different young families. So those are really some great activities that you could do on your free time. It doesn't necessarily need some great capital. You just have to put it the time, and in exchange, you will receive some great profits. My third side hustle is another great way that I love to use, particularly on this channel, as you've been able to see, and it is to do some dividend income investing. You might have not really thought about this option when you thought about side hustle, but this is really a great way to generate another source of income. Indeed, dividends could be seen as a great gift from a company in exchange of an investment in that company. For example, let's say that I invest $100,000 in a dividend fund that will give me a return of 3% per year of dividend. That would give me a great $3,000 each and every single year straight from the dividends.
Yeah, boy.
And if you decided to reinvest all those dividends, for example, with a drip program, well, that would grow your investment even more with the snowball effect. And you will see that when you receive some monthly payments each and every single month, you won't be tempted to stop doing it.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
My next side hustle on my list is to do some house hacking. Here, I'm not talking about hacking some computer data, but I'm talking about making you rich with your home. For the hypothesis, let's say that you have 5 rooms and that you are using one. That means that you have 4 rooms left. With those 4 rooms, you could decide to rent them, for example, at $1,000 per room, which would give you about $4,000 per month. This solution would be very great when you don't have a family and when you are young, because when you'll be older and you'll have your own family, it's going to be way harder to do this kind of thing. And keep in mind that you might have some problems with your tenants, but it might not be as bad as if you would hold, for example, different properties with real estate. This leads us to my next side hustle, which is pretty similar to my previous one, but in the major league. So that would be to invest straight into real estate properties. However, now I must warn you that this solution is not made for everyone. Indeed, to be able to make this kind of operation, you need to have the resources, obviously, but also the
Knowledge.
However, if you would like to invest with some smaller proportions and without having the risk of tenants and to hold the different properties, what you could do is just invest in real estate investment trust, which are considered as REITs. And I invite you to check out the video that's going to be right there that I've just made. In any ways, it could be a very great idea to invest in real estate since it gives you some intangible asset, and also it is not correlated with the stock market. Also, if you're doing it well, you should receive normally some monthly cash flow from your tenants. And for all the people that love to renovate, well, that could be a great way for you to buy some properties and to be able to renovate them to make a profit. However, it's quite arduous compared to the house hacking since you need now to hold the properties and you don't have only one house, but you can have multiple properties. So of course, it gives you more profits, but also more risk. If you bought at $500,000, 5 apartments that you could rent at $1,500 per apartment, that would give you about $7,500 per month from your tenants. But of course, you need to reduce all the different charges, the mortgage, the electricity, etc. from your profit. Another great way to generate some extra money would be to have a part-time job. On my side, this is what I'm doing because as you know, I do have a financial analyst job as my main job, and after in the weekends, for example, I do work at the pool. So I just worked as a lifeguard, which gave me some great extra money, and for everyone that know it, I have swum during about 8 years of my life in competitive, which means that it's really in one of my passions. So in your position, I would recommend you to go in a field that you would like. Also, knowing the fact that you probably already have a job during the week, you could decide to work just like me only one day during the weekend. So if you choose a place that you would like to work and you receive some great salary, that could be a great way to motivate you to do some extra money. Let's say that you work 8 hours a day on Saturday and that you're making about $25 per hour. That would make an extra $200 per week that you receive from this job. My next side hustle might create some drama in the comment section, but it is to become an influencer. Hey Louis, but do you think that I need to go on OnlyFans to shake my ass and make a lot of money? Well, in fact, that's not really what I meant by it. Currently, there are millions of companies that are looking for different ambassadors to represent the brand of their company. Why you wouldn't be the new superstar?
It's about damn time.
You could actually make a fortune from those contracts. However, you will need to stand out of the mass because it is a very, very high competitive market. That means that you will need to have a lot of persistence to be successful in that sector. Just like for a part-time job, you need to work in a field and do something that you really like. So eventually, if you continue with consistency, you will be able to build up your brand and become more and more famous. This will also eventually attract more and more different sponsors. This leads us to my next side hustle, which would be to be a coach or a consultant for different people. While many different companies are looking for great ambassadors for their brand, many different consumers and customers will need some particular help. For example, let's say that you are a great tennis player and that you are currently sponsored with Wilson. What you could actually do is to also, with this sponsorship, you could decide to just do some private classes to help people with tennis. So you would make money from those sponsors, but also from the classes that you would give to your students to help them to improve. In another case, let's say that you are a marketing addict and that you have a lot of different resources and knowledge about that. What you could do is to help different and smaller businesses to develop their brand with your knowledge. In that case, you would act like consultant for the company. So what you could do is to check out what are your skill set and what are your different knowledge, pick one of them and just decide to master it even more, and after you can try to help people with it. And sometimes it can only be a small things. For example, on my side, I speak French, so I could just decide to help people to learn French. And if your skill is really unique, you can receive even more money from it. Talking about helping other people, the next side hustle that I'm about to present to you is the most interesting in my opinion. So it is a great way to generate some income depending on the efforts that you put in without having to put a lot of capital when you start. It is actually to start your own YouTube channel. Once again, you could just take a skill or a different knowledge or even a personal experience that you have and decide to explain and help people or just share with the other people your experience with that field. However, keep in mind that you need to share and promote your own personality, so you need to make it really interesting for others. Personally, you can understand that this is one of the side hustles that I'm the most invested into. I take many hours per week to create the best possible videos for my audience. So if you want to encourage me with that, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. On my side, at the moment, I'm not making any money from YouTube because I'm not monetized yet and I'm not trying to sell any kind of program at the moment. However, when it is working, and for example, let's say that I'm taking Graham Stephen, which is in the same niche as me, he's actually making about $100,000 at least per month only with YouTube. So it could be considered as some passive income. However, it takes a lot of work, and I really warn you, it takes a lot of work and dedication to be successful in YouTube. It also depends on which niche are you in, but also the popularity that you have. So the main revenue comes from Google Ads. However, you could decide to plug in all your different programs and classes that you could decide to plug to your audience. And now for my last side hustle, I've decided to present you a special side hustle, I'd say, which is to become an Uber driver. There are actually more and more demand to travel across the world, mainly in the big cities, which means that becoming a Uber driver could be a great way to generate some extra money. Of course, to do that, you will need to have your own driver license, but also your own car. If you are actually someone that likes to drive and also to talk with others, I think that this could be a great side hustle for you. You could also become a driver for Uber Eats, which would be another alternative for it. In any case, this could be a great experiment on my channel to do next, to try to do some Uber driver, and I think that it's a great way to have some fun with others while generating some money. Keep in mind that if you are doing it well, you could have some 5-star ratings with some great tips. So guys, I hope that you liked that video. Let me know in the comment section what is your favorite side hustle. And of course, in the future, I will make an episode 2 of this series that I will start about trying some new side hustle to make money. For example, I thought about becoming an Uber driver for one day. That could be a great idea. So let me know in the comment section if you have any other idea for me to try it. And also guys, make sure to join the Noel family by subscribing to the channel for only $0.0. It always encourages me to continue, and I will see you soon. Peace.